Everything we do needs to focus on creating jobs, and the rest will follow for Sparks, our region, and Nevada.
A message from the mayor on cutting the cost of city government and bringing jobs to town. Hello, I'm Adam Mayberry. We begin today's Spotlight on Sparks with a report to you, the citizens, on the state of the city. Here's Sparks Mayor Gino Martini.
A former mayor in another city in a state said he was the happiest mayor in America. Well, I have to tell you that I am the proudest mayor in America. Candidly, it was not too long ago. We all wondered if any local government, let alone our state government, could stay afloat. When I became mayor, we were already experiencing double-digit growth. Commercial and residential developments were booming. We all wondered and worried how we would and could accommodate the growth and required city services that come with it. In hindsight, those were good problems to have. However, those kinds of problems will not return for some years to come. Around mid-2006, we saw some warning signs. Development began to slow and tax revenue dipped a bit. Fiscal experts suggested our economy was merely going through a financial hiccup. And then came the housing crash in 2008. 2011 was a year of fundamental change for the city as our economy continued to weaken. As the state's economy and economic forecast continued to deteriorate, significant action was required. The city could no longer ask for wage and benefit concessions year after year, or reduce services to unacceptable and unsafe levels. So last year we committed ourselves to make a permanent fix. We were faced with another budget shortfall, this time more than $4.5 million. The alternative was to apply a Band-Aid that would never offer a solution.
The city of Sparks radically reorganized in an effort to keep up critical or core services while working with far fewer resources. Led by City Manager Sean Carey, the effort is called the Sparks Sustainable Services Initiative. Living within a realistic city budget means making do with a workforce down 33% and revenues some 20% from just 5 years ago. Consolidations are visible all over City Hall, such as the new City Hall customer service counter that allows a minimal staff to serve citizens with multi-department needs, including paying sewer bills, getting building plans approved, or applying for various licenses or permits. The city also consolidated maintenance functions for parks, utilities, building facilities, and road maintenance into a single, cross-trained workforce. The new Community Services Department is a merger of the former Public Works and Community Development Departments. Moving the consolidated functions back into City Hall saves the city $400,000 annually. The city's fire prevention team relocated its office to Fire Station headquarters, saving taxpayers an additional $400,000 annually.
As a result of the SSI program, our budget has stabilized, at least for the short term. We have some way to go before we see an upswing in city revenues. Our local and state economies remain fragile. Unemployment remains high, and the housing market has not returned to normal, as hundreds of homes are still in foreclosure, with hundreds more expected to come.
Even little things like timing tree trimming services with street sweeping schedules can save money. So do LED traffic lights and solar panels at city facilities. Yet ultimately, the solution to stabilize the city's soft economy requires more than a lean government structure. What Sparks really needs is jobs.
Yay, yoo-hoo, I love it. This is great.
It's the best news Sparks has had in a long time. Now Foods is coming to Sparks, chose this location, and have already chosen to grow. You can't ask for a better outcome than that.
Now Foods, a 60-year-old family-owned business, just built a new facility in Sparks.
It's about jobs. It's about putting people to work that are here in our community that can own homes, drive cars, buy things, and live in a great community. This is what communities are basically the building blocks that we need. And Now Foods is a solid partner that will be in our community for years.
The company manufactures high-quality health food and nutritional supplements and offers the products at affordable prices. Now Foods' new production facility was supposed to mean just 10 jobs in the short term.
The exciting part about this building, this company, is they put a manufacturing part into their plan. We were not expecting the manufacturing to kick in for 2 years because of all the FDA regulations and everything that they have to comply with.
Sparks City Councilman Ron Smith led the effort to rein in local stringent rules.
I want to give special thanks to Councilman Ron Smith. He intervened and got some of our existing rules and regulations changed to make this business successful. And that's the kind of teamwork it takes.
Teamwork from the city level all the way to the top of the state turned 10 prospective jobs into 100 high-end jobs with benefits.
But it is a wonderful, great day for the city of Sparks. Now Foods, big, respected company that distributes worldwide, is right here in this city. They started out with very small, with 8 employees. They added 10 last August, and now they're adding another 100. So I think it speaks very well of the city of Sparks, the leadership, the mayor, Councilman Smith, everybody who was involved in this, Sean Carey. I couldn't say enough good things about them for their being responsible for this happening. One of the things we talked about is by the end of 2014 that there'll be 50,000 new jobs in the state of Nevada. It's a very ambitious goal. I know that, but I think we need to shoot high. I've spoken with the representatives of EDON down south, the Nevada Development Authority, and the rural counties, the Northern Nevada Development Authority. They all know that they have a big responsibility in all this. And as I said, it's a team. We're working together. There's a room full of people that were responsible for Now Foods coming to Northern Nevada, and they're going to do just the same great work statewide.
The number one thing that Brian Sandoval has done is work across party lines to build a streamlined approach. The days of one end of Nevada not knowing what the other end of Nevada were doing are over.
It's all about working together. And everything we do in Sparks is for Sparks, but it also has regional effects. And so we're excited. I work with a great city council. We're progressive, we're pro-jobs, we have lively discussions and lively disagreements, but in the end, we come together. And this is one of the results of that.
The governor's focus on economic development is already paying off for both the city of Sparks and for Now Foods. Yet, Nevada needs more momentum to bring in more businesses. Governor Sandoval's team means to do what it takes to make it happen.
I've talked to some California companies that are thinking about relocating. They talk about the fact that they're being suffocated because of the over-regulation. They're being suffocated because they're being overtaxed. They can come over the hill to Nevada, and it's a big breath of fresh air. We just recently announced that we're eliminating over 700 business regulations in the state of Nevada. We're modifying another 1,000 more to make them business-friendly. So we truly want to be the vanguard in the country in terms of economic development and being the best place to do business.
New store signs going up, like the one at Lowe's, are definitely a good sign for the local economy. This store opened on the same day as Now Foods. Lowe's operates more than 1,700 stores and is winner of a Best Employers Award. Additional businesses planned for the Legends Mall include a TJ Maxx store and an IMAX theater. A 2011 Northern Nevada Business Weekly report cited renewed levels of confidence among business owners in Sparks. Of 100 businesses interviewed, more than half of the owners feel the worst of the recession is over, and that their businesses are growing or poised for growth. Coldwell Banker Commercial Clay & Associates recently surveyed businesses in the heart of the Sparks Industrial Corridor. Results? 30% of owners felt businesses would stay flat, but a majority, 58%, are optimistic about the local economy.
We have a lot of good things going on in Sparks with some new companies that just moved in. And obviously, as more people move in, it creates action, and more action gets more action, and eventually this little snowball turns into a big snowball. So I think it's real important for us to keep up that momentum.
Sparks is doing its part to make it easy to do business. Now, a new Sparks mobile app makes it possible to find out what's happening here, from anywhere at any time. Sparks is the first government organization in the state of Nevada to offer a free mobile application for the Android and iPhone. If it's happening here, there's information available about it online and on your smartphone. App users can view information on upcoming events, see points of interest based on your current location, access local sports scores and weather information, and even connect to city government to report a pothole or other code violations.
They can download the app. It's free. We're the first city in the state of Nevada to go ahead and do that. We're very, very proud of it. A lot of information on there. We continually update it. It talks about all of our special events. It's a good way of passing information along to our visitors and to our local folks. One of the great advantages of the app is if you're a softball player in the city of Sparks, which we have several hundred teams here, you get real-time standings. You know exactly where your team is at. So that's good information.
The app is the newest technology improvement at City Hall, following on a recently redesigned city website. To make sure you're in the know, click around the city's website where features like the It's Happening Here widget provide information on city events, recreation, dining, shopping, activities, and more. The I Want To drop-down menu allows people to get the information they need to start a business, pay a bill, or find a city park in fewer clicks. The new user-friendly design makes it easy to find information about city council agendas and minutes. You can even watch broadcasts of city government meetings or episodes of Spotlight on Sparks on demand online.
All the information is available to the citizens at the touch of a button, and they can access our same things we have in real time. It's important. We're very glad to make that step. I think it's important for governments to continue doing that.
And no general fund dollars were spent on the new technology. Instead, hotel room taxes paid by visitors and earmarked for tourism and marketing paid for the improvement. Sparks is modernizing in more ways than one. A new interlocal program is creating regional business licenses. Currently, those launching a new business can set up shop quickly with one-stop licensing for the City of Sparks, City of Reno, and Washoe County. But soon, even that will be streamlined into a single multi-jurisdictional business license that will be available online.
Right now, they have to have an agreement with every jurisdiction that's out there, the 2 cities, the county, and any other outlying areas. This will allow them to go one place, do all of the work that they need to do, get all the inspections they need to have done to meet the codes and the ordinances of the various governmental entities, and they'll be able to do one stop, one time, pay one fee, and they won't have to spend all their time running around to get their business started.
It all ties in with the bigger picture of bringing jobs to Nevada.
And that's the primary focus of the governor's plan, is to find jobs which will lead to other jobs, as these types of manufacturing jobs with good pay and good benefit came to be able to support others in our community. And it's the small businesses that are on Disk Drive, and it's the small businesses on Pyramid Way that will see the effect of 100 of these high-paying jobs choosing Sparks, Nevada.
The city's business sphere now stretches all the way to the International Space Station. Founded in 1963, the Sierra Nevada Corporation, or SNC, is a Sparks-based business and the only company under contract to NASA for development of a shuttle-like spacecraft, the Dream Chaser. SNC is building the orbital vehicle to provide NASA with a low-cost commercial system to safely transport a crew of 7 astronauts and cargo to the International Space Station and then safely back to the Earth, as well as to support other human space flight markets in low Earth orbit. The Dream Chaser is a reusable piloted spacecraft similar to the shuttle that launches vertically on an expendable rocket and lands horizontally on a conventional runway. This Sparks business has earned honors as a top woman-owned federal contractor and is ranked in the top 10 among America's fastest-growing private companies. Another amazing Sparks-based business has won many awards, including Best Product of the Year, Best Business of the Year, and Employer of the Year. For more than a century, the Haas Corporation has delivered drinking water and emergency equipment worldwide.
Haas Corporation, how may I direct your call?
Haas started in 1906. It was started with the invention of the drinking fountain with Luther Haas. He started the business out of the back of a plumbing shop in Berkeley, California. Luther was a plumbing inspector, And what he did was he visited local schools in the Berkeley area to just check on plumbing if there were any issues that needed to be corrected. He noticed a lot of children drinking out of a common tin cup. A tin cup attached to a string or a wire, and it was tied off to a spigot. All the kids would take their breaks and then go drink out of the same cup. Obviously, there was a lot of disease being passed on at the time, and he just saw this as something that was unsanitary. So Luther went back to his plumbing shop and he took a brass ball off of a bedpost, drilled a hole in it, stuck it on top of a pipe, and then put a rabbit ear valve. So when you squeeze the rabbit ear valve, it would activate the water come right out of the top. And now you could get a drink without actually putting your lips on the faucet or the fixture. They're building lots of schools in California, and that, of course, went nationwide, and the plumbing code was now requiring drinking fountains. We've continued to be very successful with the drinking fountain piece of the business. We've more recently launched a partnership with Brita that gives us water away from home, filtered water away from home, a consumer brand that they can get out of a public fixture. It's a very green, using reusable bottles that, so that we aren't throwing bottles in landfills kind of a thing. About 20 years ago, we were really pushing to grow the safety side of the business. And obviously the safety side takes plumbing in a little bit of a different direction. Our safety showers and eye washes are going to be found in laboratories, petrochemical facilities, mining facilities, semiconductor fabs. Then we find in all kinds of industrial facilities where you have chemicals, basically, where someone could be splashed with a chemical, they could get it on their skin, get it on their eyes, and you need to immediately flush to alleviate the burn, get the chemical off, and dilute that as much as you possibly can very quickly to prevent further injury. So it really is a unique product from the standpoint of your shower at home might give you 3 gallons a minute. This would give you more like 20 gallons per minute. 1980s, 1990s, with compliance for OSHA, that business really grew, and now our business is really about half fountains and half safety. It's tough running a business in Berkeley, California. Go back to the 1970s, it was probably as tough then as it is now. Just not really welcome in California in general. We had labor issues, we were unionized in Berkeley, and we just saw, as we drew a radius around Northern California where we could go, we found Reno was the closest place, Reno Sparks, and so here we came. In 2000, 2001, we completely shut down our California operation and became a Nevada corporation. So we brought up IT, we brought up HR, marketing, everything came up here at that time. I had a note from the mayor about 6-7 weeks ago, and it was just a little congratulatory note, and he was here within a couple of weeks. It was just a great experience. Just call the mayor, and he comes right over, and you have an opportunity to spend some time with him. He hears what your issues are, and I got to tell you, whether it's dealing with permitting or trying to grow our business, which we are, we're hiring people, we're expanding parking lots. The city's just been fantastic to work with. Fire, police, all that kind of stuff is just, they're fantastic. And it's a great place to raise a family. It's a great region to attract high-quality employees to, quite frankly.
It's a great place to work. It's got a great benefit package. It's close to where I live. It's a very clean place to work, nice people. Part of it is Sparks. I think if it were in Los Angeles, I would have to weigh the differences.
I love the small aspect of it. The schools, I am a mother of 2. My husband also works here, and I have very active kids. And this organization treats us well from that aspect. We have flex time, so any of the activities that my kids have to be at, I'm able to do that and still put in my time here. They have education programs as well. They paid for me to get my MBA, which was a fabulous opportunity for me.
If we were to live or headquarter in another similarly sized market area, we wouldn't have the air service that we have here. We wouldn't have the access to Northern California, wine country, Bay Area, things of that nature, Lake Tahoe. What we have here really is a pretty amazing location. So when we want to attract and retain very high quality people at the executive level, at the management level, it's relatively easy to do that once we bring them in. Many people come in here and say, wow, I had no idea what a beautiful place this was. They fly in, they see the mountains, snow-capped mountains, and it's 60 degrees out, they could go play golf. It's really kind of a surprise to most people.
The City of Sparks is pleased to announce it has won a Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting for the 30th consecutive year. The award for the Sparks Fiscal Year 2011-12 budget comes from the Government Finance Officers Association. That organization also granted the city another award, the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. The city claims this award for a 4th consecutive year. Mayor Martini called the honors, quote, a testament to the Finance Department's strict financial standards and transparency, end quote. Perhaps the single most important function of city government is protecting your life, safety, and property. Mayor Gino Martini and the entire Sparks City Council are committed to keeping these core services intact.
A disastrous Amtrak crash occurred about 30 minutes from Sparks, and the horrific crash at the Reno Air Races was the worst air accident that impacted since September 11, 2001. Sparks as we declared a state of emergency resulting from gang activity at a popular event, and the Collin Fire destroyed several homes and properties in Reno, followed by the Washoe Drive fire that occurred in January of this year. I want to pay special tribute to our first responders in Sparks and throughout the region who rescued us from these terrible events. From a grateful city, thank you for your service to all of us. We continue to face difficulties with police staffing. For a city our size, the standard is 2 officers per 1,000 citizens. Our sworn officers' workforce is closer to 1 officer per 1,000 than to 2. We have 11% fewer officers than we did in 2008. Despite these challenges, our police officers and detectives have done a superb job. I am pleased to report that property crime in Sparks is down by double digits. This is largely a result of an excellent detective work performed by our crime suppression unit. I'm really proud of our police officers who often go beyond the call of duty. Take, for instance, Patrol Officer Steve Burns. Steve is the department's Officer of the Year and is known for his outstanding police work, along with his compassion and service to the public. As a result of his diligence and methodical hard work in identifying burglary suspects in a Sparks neighborhood, arrests have been made and most stolen property has been returned to its rightful owners. I applaud the efforts of our police department to create a reserve program. Reserve officers will help supplement our police workforce. Initially, 10 reserve officers will be selected with an ultimate goal of 20. I also want to thank our police department for improving efficiency with technology. Through state grants totaling $1.3 million, the department has a new records management system and computer-aided dispatch system. The department also implemented Next Generation 911, a system that is capable of voice, data, and video transmission from different types of communications devices in the emergency responder networks via, again, 911. Our fire department is doing an outstanding job as well. Despite a 25% reduction in the department's workforce, Chief Andy Flock and his team have made a number of adjustments to ensure all fire stations remained open every day in 2011. My hat's off to their efforts in keeping costs down and keeping safety a priority. Through a community risk assessment, it was determined that maintaining a quick response to the majority of incidents would have a greater impact in changing outcomes for the better, rather than keeping 4-person staffing that would require closing fire stations. Last year, our fire department was innovative and aggressive in their efforts to address the critical fire and rescue needs by partnering with private sector and raising funds through grant programs. With assistance from Kinder Morgan Energy Partners, the department acquired a new foam truck. The fire department received $57,000 FEMA grant to purchase and install smoke detectors and other warning devices in residential structures not equipped. Project SAFE is in its 2nd year. Our fire department was also successful in obtaining a $500,000 grant from the Department of Homeland Security to replace all portable, vehicle, and base station radios. We also received a state grant for more than $100,000 to purchase rescue equipment. These valuable grant awards represent just one highlight of the fire department's success this past year. We also honor our troops serving our nation so that we may continue to enjoy the freedoms we have today. To honor our troops, we partnered with the Blue Star Mothers last year, who provided banners depicting our very own brave men and women serving our nation. They're depicted on lampposts on Victorian Avenue and Victorian Square. These banners are a special tribute to those in our military families.
The Sparks Senior Center on Richards Way was in danger of closing after Washoe County announced budget cuts. Concerned citizens turned to Sparks for help. The Sparks City Council unanimously voted to save the Senior Center by picking up some $92,000 annually in staffing costs to operate the center from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
And the county was struggling to be able to meet the needs of the seniors in our community, and Sparks took a look at that and said, we're not willing to let the senior center close, and so let's figure out how we can partner, how we can work together to keep it open. There's just so many limited resources, and that's such an important population for us, particularly in my ward, in Ward 1, the older part of the city. There's a lot of seniors who really depend on that senior center for the opportunity to socialize with their friends, to have a good meal, to get some exercise. It really is. It just so contributes to the quality of life in our community. So there was just no way that this council was going to let it close if there was something that we could do about it.
The agreement allows the city of Sparks to gain another facility for additional recreational services and increase its senior activity program. 80% of you, our residents, ranked overall quality of services in Sparks as good to excellent. The annual Public Attitude Survey looks at a variety of city services from public safety to transportation. Among the findings, .74% said no when asked if they would support one consolidated government for Reno, Sparks, and Washoe County. That's a 7% increase from the previous year.
I think that number stayed pretty consistent since we started the survey, and I think what the citizens are saying is that they like the way that they're being governed here. And I think when you look at some of the things that have happened in the past with Reno and Washoe County not getting along, I think they're perfectly happy to stay with the way we're doing things here in Sparks.
To check out the survey findings for yourself, go online to SparksIt'sHappeningHere.com. To learn more about what makes Sparks and It's Happening Here kind of town, visit the Sparks Heritage Museum. Now, after more than a quarter century of preserving the past, there's something new. A new cultural center on the top floor. Downstairs, yesteryear displays show life from before the settlers to the founding of Sparks in 1905. So now, on to the city's future. Let's go back to Mayor Martini's State of the City address for a look at what's in the works for the year to come at City Hall.
We are committed to working together for the betterment of our region. We know, for instance, that economic success in Reno is also our success, and vice versa. We all must work together, counties and cities alike, be blind to borders, and identify the right kind of businesses that will prosper and create jobs in Sparks, the Truckee Meadows, and beyond. Last year, following the legislative session, we began an effort to help the state form an economic development structure. Our city manager chaired and helped spearhead an orchestrated effort called Recharge Nevada, a partnership with the region's local governments, economic development agencies, and educational institutions to ensure unity as we move forward in rebuilding our stalled economy. Additionally, the state has offered incentives as an economic development resource. The final economic development structure is a work in progress, but we have come a long way in a short time. We know that the city of Sparks will have far more to contribute and will be engaged in helping our current businesses grow and be successful, as well as attracting new businesses and industry to our region. I know that our residents, business owners, employees, and visitors are counting on us to make a difference now more than ever. We are ready to meet the future and serve your needs. Thank you for your time today, and don't forget our website, www.cityofsparks.us, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for being here today. God bless you. God bless the city of Sparks, Nevada, and God bless the United States of America.
Well, that sums it all up pretty well, Mayor Martini. That's it for this installment of Spotlight on Sparks. I'm your host, Adam Mayberry. Thanks for watching.